Hey everybody, I am here to do a little vlog intro. I noticed that Kayla from Books and Lala read books that made her cry or read books that people thought would make her cry. And then on Instagram, she put up a list. What are you doing, Ellie? Of all the books that people said that they thought would make her cry. And I noticed that 3 of those books are books I currently have and need to read soon. So I thought I would do a vlog reading them and see if any of these make me cry. So I have Hamnet, which is a book about William Shakespeare's, not really about him, but about his family, his son who passes away. That's not a spoiler because that's just history. And then I have The Blue Book of Nebo, which I know this did make Kayla cry. Not in that video, but previously, and she gave it 5 stars. This is sort of the end of the world, but it's about a son and a mom after trying to survive. And it's written, I think, in letters, like his diaries. And this one, yeah. And then Shark Heart, a love story, which is about a woman and a man whose partner is slowly turning into a shark. Yeah, they're all supposed to be sad books. I was going to read this one anyway for Steph's book club, and also my friend. We picked this book to read for our little buddy book club that we do, or we tried to do. We have been a little remiss lately. I have to read that one anyway. And then this one's a library book, so I had to read this one soon. And then my Libby hole came in for Hamnet, so I figured since I had all these sad, somber books, I would read these and vlog them and see which one's most likely to make me cry. If I had to guess, I think The Blue Book of Nebo is probably going to be the most sad for me, but it also could be Hamnet. I think because I am a mom with the kids, and a mom with a son, and that is about the same age as in the Blue Book of Nebo, that this one may make me actually cry. It may poke at the tear ducts a little harder, but we will see. I don't cry that often in books, but I have been known to occasionally. I did sob when I read A Monster Calls. That was the last one I think that made me cry. A Nora Roberts book that I read years ago that made me sob. So it depends on the mood, right? What mood you're in. That is the plan to do throughout this week. I have a couple vlogs going, so I don't have to just read sad books, because that would be very depressing. I'm gonna read these 3 though. Today is a rest day for me. I am going to start Hamnet on my drive to the dentist. I have a dentist appointment cleaning today, so I'll let you know if I have any cavities. I started this on audio yesterday. I have an audio hold from Libby, so I know it's due tomorrow, and I know there's a ton of people waiting for it, so I need to read it if I'm going to read it on audio at all. I think I'd prefer to read this physically so I can highlight and tab or whatever. I am gonna start this audibly on my drive. It's about a half-hour drive each way, so I should be able to get like 2 hours into this on 2 times 1.5, 1.7 speed, so it'll depend on how fast I want to go. I am just a little bit of the ways into this, I think a few chapters. Well, I'm an hour and a half in of a 12-hour, 45-minute book, so I have gotten a little bit of the ways in so far, but I'm really liking the writing. It's very beautifully written, so yeah, I'm excited to continue this on my ride today. It is a rest day today, no running. It is freezing out though. It is just 32 degrees now at 8:30. When I brought the kids to school, it was below freezing. I'm over it. I shouldn't have to. It's like this morning I could have got my winter coat out, but I was like, no, we're not doing that. We're going to be fine in a hoodie. I will live. The winter coats are put away. I'm not taking them back out. It looks like next week we might get into the 70s again though, so I'm looking forward to that because I'm over being cold. I want spring. I want like 60s, but I know, you know, we're just gonna end up hopping right from winter to being too hot. But anyways, nothing's blooming yet. The grass is slightly green, barely. If it was nicer out, I would go read by the river, by the Connecticut River, but it doesn't look like it's gonna be warm enough to do anything outside today until at least much later. I think it's gonna be like 50 today. I am 36% into Hamnet now on page 117, and I'm really enjoying this. It's just so beautifully written. I'm loving the relationship between Agnes and William and the setup of that, and the descriptions of Agnes's mother, how she was such a free spirit for the time, and how she knew all these natural remedies, and she was such a beautiful soul and she had so much kindness in her heart, and what happened with her. And it's just so lusciously written. I'm really enjoying it. No tears yet, nothing. I mean, we know what's gonna happen and sad things have happened, but nothing has tugged at my heartstrings enough for me to tear up quite yet. But I'm still early on in this, and I'm sure that is coming. So I'm still enjoying this. Update on the dentist, I have 0 cavities, so that's good. And also one of the ladies that works in the office there, she has an Instagram, so we connected there, so that was good. You know, when you carry around your books everywhere, you meet more book people, so that's a good thing. I edited my March wrap up today, finished that up so I can get that up for you guys, and I am going to read until the kiddos get back in a few hours, and I need to eat some lunch. There's some leftover filet in there, so I think I'm just gonna warm that up and some leftovers and have that. And later I'm gonna go take the doggos for a W, but that won't be until later. So I'm at the library. I have to pick up a hold, but I did finish Hamnet just now. I shed a few tears, like maybe 1 or 2, got a little misty. I think I would have maybe cried a little more if my son didn't come in right after Hamnet died. But those are the moments that got me, the immediate right after and the mother grieving and all that. It's beautifully written. It's very nicely done. The audiobook is very melancholy and it really puts you in the mood for sadness and things like that. And I think it does show how, you know, a relationship with your spouse can really altered by grief, especially when it's that of a child. And of course, this tugs on all of our human heartstrings of being parents and the fear that we'll lose a child. And of course, everyone's heartstrings about losing the people they love, because it does happen eventually to everyone. So yes, it is sad. And I did shed a tear. Not the saddest thing I've ever read. That still goes to A Monster Calls. For some reason, that one just hit me really hard when I read it. But I don't think Shark Heart's gonna make me cry. That would be my assumption. And then I think if anything's gonna make me cry, it'll be the Blue Book of Nemo. But we'll see. I'm gonna go get my hold. So that was just a very quick trip to the library. I picked up Inamorata by Eva Reed. Oh. I picked up Inamorata by Eva Reed. This is a very wicked glare. It's the sun's starting to go down a little bit. But I've heard good things about this, and I've enjoyed from Eva Reed before. I read The Drowning, what is it? I don't remember. I liked that one, but I didn't read the follow-up one. One of these days maybe I'll do a reread and then read the second one, because I don't remember a ton about the first one. I just remember the vibes and the sinking, drowning house and some sort of fae-ness. But I've heard good things about this one. People are seeming to be liking it, and I know it's a dark, so I'm excited about that. I love the darkness. And I didn't notice because the sprayed edges on this are teeth, which is interesting. I'm not a big fan of those, but not because they're teeth. I mean, that's kind of cool, but I had no idea that there were teeth in here. Interesting. Now I'm gonna go pick up my daughter at Youth Services and continue on with reading something else. Probably something that won't make me cry. Probably something for another vlog.
Silhouettes of you are like a taunt. Never really know just what you want. With you I don't ever feel calm. I can feel the sweat inside my palm.
I ran 5 miles and I had to do,
You don't understand the pain.
what do you call these? Sprint intervals. Yikes. And now I'm gonna have some oatmeal with some strawberries and some brown sugar and some pecans in there. And I had a 20-gram protein yogurt too. So this is like my easy girl lunch kind of thing where I don't feel like making anything. There's no leftovers, but at least I get my protein and some carbs after my run. Anyway, I think the plan after this is I am going to go get cozy and read the Blue Book of Nemo and maybe cry. We'll see. But at least if I read that, I can get that back to the library since I think it's due soon. Getting all cozy in my book corner. I'm gonna start this one.
Tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too long, it hurts to watch your blue eyes fade to gray as you fade away.
So I am about halfway through this now, and I am enjoying it. I feel like that's all I ever say. I am enjoying this book. This is about an apocalyptic catastrophe, nuclear event, and this is taking place after he was 6 when it happened, and it's been 8 years, so he's 14 now. And they're just talking about how they're surviving and what life is like and feelings. And his mom gives him this book and tells him to write his experiences in it every day. She won't teach him like school anymore, but that she wants him to write for an hour a day. And then his mom also takes turns writing in it as well about the events that have happened. So we're getting firsthand account of that. A lot of they both have memories of the time before. So there's some written about that, especially in the mom's parts. And then in Dylan's the boy's name, his parts, he's writing about his feelings now and his questions he has and things like that. There also is another child in this named Mona, and she is a young toddler, baby-ish. I think they don't say her age, but I'm assuming she's putting 2 words together, maybe 2.5, 3. We don't really know where she came from because it's been longer than that, and Dylan's like, I don't know where she came from, because he learns about reproduction. He read, and he won't ask his mother, and his mother is very cold because she's had to be at times, and so he doesn't want to ask her because he knows he knows that she's not gonna want to answer. And it's sad, but I'm not getting emotional at all yet. So we will see. I mean, I've got half of the book left still. I finished, and there were some sad stuff in here, but I did not cry, but I did really enjoy it. I don't know if it's 5 stars. It's possible, maybe 4.5 or 4.25. I don't know. I'm going to have to think on it a little bit. It definitely gives me feelings, but it did not make me cry. But that part with Quill, I think that's the name of it, that was sad. I mean, there are multiple sad parts, but that was just like quietly sad. And the other sad parts were just even more sad. But anyways, yeah, I gotta go pick up my daughter. Look at this sweetie pie. Look at this sweetie pie. Yes. You snuggle with Mama. What's Daddy doing? Start my last sad book, Shark Heart, a love story. She's being very cute.
I know you told your friend you're not okay. And tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until
So I'm at my son's drum lesson and I have started reading Shark Heart, a love story by Emily Haybeck. And this is a story of a man who is married and he is slowly turning into a shark in this world. That's something that sometimes happens. People turn into other animals. Obviously, this is a very sad thing if you're married to a person and you would like to stay with that person for the rest of your life. Them being a great white shark is not a good thing. So I assume, and so far has been about their love story, how they fell in love, their lives a little bit, and then him finding out that this is happening to him. And I'm sure, assuming it's going to be a lot about grief and love and loss, etc. And maybe it'll make me cry. This is the one I felt like least likely to make me cry, but the one I most thought would make me cry, the blue book of Nebo or something like that, did not make me cry. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this one will make me cry. I am in public in a parking lot right now, so I doubt it. But it's very sunny today, but it's only in the 50s, so it's a little chilly. Hello, you're in my cabinet. I am about 144 pages into Shark Heart. I am liking this. It's told a lot in these little vignettes, which I kind of like, but I also feel like it's preventing me from really getting the attached to anybody. So I don't know if it's gonna tug at my heartstrings enough for me to cry, but I do like it. So far, the saddest part for me has just been when the wife had her birthday party when she was a kid and nobody showed up, because that's like the saddest thing ever. Seeing your kids disappointed. It's just the worst. It's one of the worst things. But anyways, yeah, we're just, following along their story as he becomes a shark. And we're at the point now where he's very sharky. She's going to have to release him soon. So I'm like, what's the rest of this going to be about? I don't know. Her grieving, probably? I don't know. It is Sunday morning. I look a little crazy, but I just wanted to give you an update on Shark Heart. I got to page 279, and I do not think this is going to make me cry. About halfway through, it kind of switches into a story about someone else, and it's like related, but someone else. And yeah, it's definitely going to cut me off from the emotionality of the first half. Also, it's written in these like little vignettes and things, and it makes it go very quickly, but at the same time I think it's cutting me off from like getting emotionally attached. Like, I'm still enjoying it, I just don't think it's gonna make me cry. And there are definitely some like page breaks and things. I'm like, did you just need to meet a page count? Because I don't think it's adding anything to the way the story is written, in my opinion. Still liking it. I will finish it and see how it makes me feel at the end. I just feel like this had a lot of potential to pull the heartstrings and make me cry, and it's not. Maybe I'm a cold-hearted biatch, or maybe it's the antidepressant. But either way, yeah, that's my truth.
Tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. And guess you're trying to stay strong and fake a smile until I look away. But I've known you too
So a final update for you on Shark Heart. I finished this and it did not make me cry. It did not make me get misty or anything like that. There were a few parts where I thought the writing was a little melancholy and a little sad, and it could have gotten me there, but it just didn't. I think the way it was written in the vignettes did it a disservice, in my opinion. It made me feel like I could never really connect completely with the characters. I think towards the end, when we're in her husband's perspective, I think that was a good way to show how he's just like more of an animal and his thinking was different. But throughout the book, I didn't think it did it any service the way it was written in the vignettes. It kind of kept me more detached from what was happening. I really, really love the concept of this. I was so interested in the people changing into animals and how that was happening and how society was dealing with that. And I know that wasn't like the main point of the book. The main point of the book is to deal with grief and having loved ones change, having to care for someone who is ill and losing themselves, and all those things didn't completely work for me. I liked it, but I didn't love it. So I'm going to give this 3 stars. I thought the fact that we got sort of at least 2 different stories, kind of 3 different stories in here, also did a disservice. I think if we had just concentrated on one, I would have been more into it. So we have the story between this Wren. So we have Wren dealing with several different people in her life, and we're getting different, like a whole chunk of story on her relationship with one person, and then a whole chunk of story on her relationship with another person. Or I think a back and forth may have been better, or to cut that whole part out entirely and just have the main story between the husband and the wife. I thought that would have been better, might have been able to get me more attached. But this works for a lot of people, so I could be wrong. But for me, it just was fine. It was interesting. I liked the concepts of it. But as someone who reads a good amount of horror, sci-fi, fantasy, this was just kind of like, okay. So we're going to end this video there. I did read 3 books that make people cry. The Blue Book of Nebo, Shark Heart, and Hamnet. I would say the one that got me the closest to crying is Hamnet. I did at least express one tear. My eyes did get misty with this one. And I do think that if I was not interrupted by my son coming home from school, then I probably would have gotten a few tears out from this one. Blue Book of Nebo, I did enjoy it, but it did not make me cry. I would say it made me sad and melancholy, but it did not make me have any tears. I would say maybe at one point I gave a sniffle, but no tears. And then this one definitely did not make me cry at all. It was probably my least favorite of the bunch. So I would say these 2 probably tie for my favorites of the vlog. I think I gave them both 4 stars. I liked both of these. This one I liked much less so. So I would say I thought these were great, and I thought this one was good. So that'll be it for this vlog. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, and comment down below. Maybe a shark emoji for a shark heart. And I will see you next time.